Introducing GForceTV. GForceTV.net is your new source for action overload. Featuring free live programming year-round and countless hours of on-demand video, GForceTV will be your first stop whenever you want to see the latest and hottest racing action. See live Friday Night Excitement weekly from Lernerville Speedway, and watch the stars of tomorrow make a name for themselves during Thursday night's live microsprint racing. GForceTV is also the new home for Rivals Race Chat. Watch weekly as Clinton Jeffrey and Adam Ross discuss all the hot topics in the world of motorsports. For iRacing fans, GForceTV has you covered with hours of live broadcasting from Rivals and GForceTV racing leagues. GForceTV promises to deliver motorsports, esports, and action sports you want to see, along with talk shows and vlogs to keep you connected to the lifestyle you love. Visit GForceTV.net today to subscribe for free. Sit back, hold on, and feel the G's on GForceTV.
Well, good evening, everybody. We welcome you to some Monday Night Madness. Tonight, the place to be is the Lernerville Speedway, and the virtual Lernerville Speedway. That is where we are for the A&J Custom Creations Renegades series here on GForceTV and GeForce Esports. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Gambler Motorsports pre-race show. I'm Sean Niestead, and with me, as usual, we'd like to call him Scotty Too Hottie. Scotty DeYoung. Scotty, I know we're both looking forward to some Monday Night Madness starting in a few short minutes.
Absolutely, definitely here to once again have some great 360 sprint car racing, and welcome everyone to the Gambler Motorsports pre-race show.
All right, Gambler Motorsports bringing you your pre-race show here tonight. Gambler Motorsports, an esports racing team. They compete across the iRACING platform. The team has drivers entering dirt races, sports cars, paved ovals, and even endurance races. This year, they'll have drivers in the prestigious 24 Hours of Daytona and Le Mans. That's Gambler Motorsports. Look them up on Facebook and give them a follow. Nearly 20 different leagues across the GeForce Racing leagues here on iRacing, and we're so glad to have you here tuned in on this Monday night. If you're looking for more information on how you can get involved with the GeForce Racing leagues, give them a look up on GeForceRL.com or look for them on Facebook. You'll see information anywhere from midgets to sprint cars, the big block modifieds, even some road racing. It all happens with the GeForce Racing League, so check that out, and you too could be part of the action. All right, Scotty, it's just about time to check in on our Need Speed Motorsports points update for the week. And, of course, there's nobody hotter right now in this Renegade series, brought to us by A&J Custom Creations, than the driver who's up top of the point standings. Kyle Moonen's won 2 of the last 3 events.
Yeah, he has, and consistency being a real part of the game here. And like you said, winning the last 2 events of the last 3 races, he is definitely the guy to beat. So definitely going to look forward to watching to see what he can do tonight here at Lernerville Speedway.
Sitting number 2 in the point standings is the driver you talked about consistency there for a moment, Scotty. Lane Snook, the 12-year-old driver, has been on the podium almost every event so far this year. He sits number 2 in the point standings. Steve Goldner, another consistent driver, right there in 3rd. Sean Bowers is in the 3rd spot in the point standings. He has a feature win to his credit. And Jack Clevenger in position number 5. It's Jonathan Short, Ross Carrenta, Max Langevin, Jesse Bandy, and Aiden Young completing the rest of your top 10. Your points update on the Gambler Motorsports pre-race show brought to you by Need Speed Motorsports. All right, Scotty, you've been around the block with iRacing a couple of times. A few minutes before we get into Bandy-built qualifications here tonight, what are your thoughts on this racetrack, Lernerville Speedway, the 4/10 miler out there in Pennsylvania?
to navigate just a little bit, but if the track is set right and breaks down really well, it makes for some great racing. The only thing you have to worry about is there's no wall around this racetrack except for the front stretch. So if you're running that top side line right where that cushion is, you really got to make sure you hit your marks. Otherwise, you will go off the edge and a tumbling and a rolling. And well, Sean, you and I like to use the what do we call it? The hikers from
cliffhanger from
Cliffhanger. Yes, Cliffhanger.
Yeah. Oh,
The Price is Right.
Steven Fernberg with a little trouble right there on the 29 machine as you look at his tail
that was
tank.
a front stretch wall.
Yeah, that's the only place you're going to get into a wall unless you really fly outside of turns 3 and 4. But yeah, that's exactly a good point to make here, Scotty, that this racetrack, it seems forgiving. You're like, oh, there's no wall, so that's going to be okay as we watch Terry Landis and the 661 make laps around here. So you're thinking, oh, there's no wall, there's nothing to worry about. But you dip one tire on the outside of that banking, and it's not forgiving here at the Lernerville Speedway. So that is definitely something we're going to there you go. Terry Landis just spun it around outside of turn number 1. It is very, very tough. Once you're out there, too, to get back onto the racetrack. Here's a look from outside. We've got the drone outside of turns 1 and 2, and it's not pretty once you get off of the racetrack, and it's a thin margin of error, especially late in the races here at the Lernerville Speedway, Scotty.
Especially, I mean, when the track really slicks off and it comes down to the hands of the drivers, you really, really have to make sure that you're hitting your marks correctly. And like we just mentioned, with that no wall, you go in just a little bit too high on that top side, and you can be fast or broken, or fastly broken, essentially. So really making sure drivers hit their marks tonight is going to be the name of the game.
Absolutely, and this racetrack can be very, very difficult. You get outside, and it's not just you dip off the racetrack, but you see all that grass off the back straightaway. Once you get racing tires into grass, it's like trying to drive on ice. It just does not work. And you've experienced that as well behind the wheel of a race car yourself. It's not fun, I would imagine.
Twice, actually. Yeah, it's not fun when you're have no wall to, I guess, lean against, and yeah, you go flying off the track and tumble about 7 or 8 times. It is definitely not a fun ride. So
yeah, you've done that a couple of times out into the grass. Let's hope nobody follows your lead and does that here this evening.
I would hope not. I make a terrible leader in that outcome, so let's hope no one follows that.
Very good. You know, I wanted to make another point about our points leader coming into this event here at Lernerville, being Kyle Moonen, and he has been so strong, although I see he's 19th quick on the charts right now. As you can follow along the top 20 all night on the left side of the screen, and we'll have the top 5 on the top of the screen for most of the night. But
it's a blur for me, so I'm trying to find him here.
Yeah, we can maybe make that a little better for you. But you know, it's one thing to be consistent and win a couple of races, but how cool is this for Kyle Moonen, the driver of the number 24 car that we'll see tonight as the driver's pit meeting is happening right now. So that's why we've got a little break out there on the racetrack, and we'll just take a little tour around the speedway here for a couple of minutes. But Bandy built qualifications are about to start. But the point I wanted to make about Kyle Moonen, 7 career wins with the GeForce Racing Leagues, and 2 of them have been the last 2 weeks. So very, very cool to see him doing so well. As we move into Bandy built qualifications here tonight, Bandy built is headquartered in Rochester, Minnesota, and they're a proud supporter of the GeForce Racing Leagues. Bandy built puts a focus on fun and friendly competition, and we had a Bandy built sweep last Monday night of the podium here as we watch Jack Clevenger make his way around the racetrack as qualifying times starting to come in here. Clevenger goes top of the charts immediately at 13.11.
And looks like Fitzpatrick in the 90 car, 13.20 for Fitzpatrick, as he's going to sit second. And just as I speak, Lane Snook, he was in second, now dropping down to 4th. Cornetta, Fernberg, and Snook, your top 4. Fitzpatrick dropping down to the 5th position as of the moment.
Here's Stephen Goldner on the racetrack, his Bandy built number 30, making it around the track as Jesse Bandy just shot up to number 2 on the chart. See him slowing after his cool-down lap. So Jesse Bandy, a 13:11 for him. Clevenger, 13:10 is the mark to beat. Just a couple of drivers still out here on the speedway. There's Kevin Fry's 21. He's just pulling in. Jeffrey Barker back here. Looks like the 5:13 is done with his qualifying run. Max Langevin on the racetrack. Here's the 161 machine. Kyle Moonen out here on the speedway. Your points leader starting to rip around the racetrack. He's up to 4th quick at a 13:15. Lap number 2 for Moonen will go into the books, and it's quick time 13.01. A 13:01 for Kyle Moonen puts him on top of the charts.
That is how you lay down the lap time when you're atop the leaderboard and want to make sure you stay up there. That is how you do it. He'll have a great starting spot in his heat race and see if he can possibly put that 24 car in victory lane again tonight.
He's going for 3 in a row here this evening. Corey Kusler on the track. He's 9th quick after his first lap at a 13.21. Lap number 2 will go into the books for Kusler, and he'll jump up to the top 5, a 13.15 for the driver of the number 126. So times coming in here in Bandy built qualifications, and boy, pretty exciting there with Kyle Moonen coming out a little bit late and then jumping right to the top of the charts in that number 24 machine. We'll have to see what he can do here again this week, as he was very, very fast out here on his laps. We'll see if we can get another quick peek of what he looked like out there on the speedway in his qualifying lap in that 24 machine, working the bottom, and that's all we're going to get to see because, Scotty, it's time to go racing. We've got our qualifying heat races coming up on deck here this evening. They're 8 laps apiece, and why don't you go ahead and give us a look at the starting lineup for our first heat race of the evening, which is, as always, brought to us by A&J Custom Creations. Scotty, let's look at that lineup.
It is going to be Aiden Young starting on the pole in the 89 car. 2 is outside. The 30 car, Stephen Goldner. Ross Coronetta in the 010 starts the inside of row 2. Kyle Moonen, your quick timer tonight, as well as your point leader, and car 24 to his outside. Blake Chapman in car 20 to the inside of row 3, and Andy Patton in car 37 to his outside. Terry Landis in the 661 to the inside of row 4, and to his outside, Matt Ramsey in car 45.
So that'll be your starting lineup. 8 laps the distance. Top 4, we know directly to the A main. Looks like everyone's going to make the big dance here tonight, but top 4 we'll get the best starting spots. Top 4 also inverted for the starting lineup for our heat races here tonight. Heat race number 1 brought to us by A&J Custom Creations. A&J provides trophies and plaques for all of the GeForce Racing League Division champions. And here's what's special about them. They're all laser engraved and CNC machined, because that's what A&J Custom Creations specializes in. Each and every one of those trophies is full of perfect craftsmanship, and that's what they can do for you as well, whether it's wood trophies, plaques, or other mementos. That's A&J Custom Creations. Andy Patton, look him up and get your custom creation ordered today. Set to go here from the Lernerville Speedway, Scotty, one of my favorite tracks on the iRacing platform. And we get the green off of turn number 4. Going to be interesting here. Aiden Young, Stephen Goldner. Goldner up there in the top 5 in the point standings in that 30 machine. Ross Corenta, he is always fast, starting inside in that velocity number 10. And then the 24 of Kyle Moonen, your quick timer outside of the second row. Track got reset, reworked, a little bit of moisture on the racetrack, a little more than there was for qualifying as we go green off of turn number 4.
Ace Truck's going to drop him off. Green flag is out. We are underway here with Monday Night Madness here at Lernerville Speedway. It's going to be Goldner out to the other race lead. Look at Kyle Moonen in the 24 car shooting up to that second place spot. Tuck tail behind Goldner through 3 and 4. Battle for the race lead off of 4 now.
They're going to rip down the front straightaway and down into turns 1 and 2 they go. There's a look at Moonen taking a peek to the inside of Goldner. Into turn number 3, they will hustle. They work the high side through 3 and 4, putting 2 laps in and now 6 to go.
6 laps to go. Goldner still atop of the chart here in heat race number 1. Kyle Moonen trying to gain some advantage to get to that tail tank of that 30 car. Your point leader still tucked tail right behind them. Top 2 breaking away from the rest of the field.
Blake Chapman runs in the third spot in the 20. Andy Patton right now in the 87 has the final transfer spot. You see Aiden Young on the right side of the screen. He is closing in and looking for a transfer, and he will sneak around the outside. Aiden Young gets the spot from Andy Patton.
Young coming to call around the outside, trying to run down the Skittles machine of Chapman as Aiden Young into the top 4 now. Here comes a battle right behind them, side by side for that 5th and 6th place spots. Still out in front, though, Goldner in car 30.
Steven Goldner has a nice lead over Kyle Moonen out front of a couple of car links with 2 laps to go in our opening heat race brought to us by A&J Custom Creations. Moonen took a look to the inside, couldn't quite get there. Chapman with the advantage as they hit turn number 3. They'll come off of turn number 4. They'll see the white flag.
White flag in the air, one time go around Lernerville Speedway. Moonen not being able to catch up to Chapman, but look at Aiden Young here. Attack from, looks like Coinetta. Coinetta and Young battling for that 4th and final transfer spot through turns 3 and 4 for the final time. Who's it going to be? Aiden Young with a 4th and final transfer.
Yeah, Aiden Young there will get the final transfer position in to the big dance here tonight as heat race number 1 brought to us by A&J Custom Creations goes official. You saw the finish there. Steven Goldner, Kyle Moonen, Blake Chapman, and Aiden Young. The transfers, Ross Carenta in 5th, Andy Patton 6th, Terry Landis was 7th, and Matt Ramsey finishing in the 8th spot. Heat race number 2 ready to make its way onto the racetrack. And Scotty, go ahead and give us the starting grid here for the McConey Setup Shop heat race number 2.
Kevin Fry in the 021 is going to start on the pole. He was just your winner with the Rebels just before this. To his outside is Lane Snook in car 123. Corey Kussler in car 126 to the inside of row number 2. And to his outside, Jack Clevenger in car 78. Rob Shaw in car 519 to the inside of row number 3. To the outside, John Short in the 51. Your 4th and final row is going to see Nathan Aldrich in the 151 to the inside. To his outside, it's Dan McLaren in car 73. Heat race number 2 being brought to you by McConey Setup Shop. At the McConey Setup Shop, they may have their setups, but they are your victories. McConey's commitment to providing high-quality setups at an affordable price has remained since day 1 and drives the company to this day. McConey Setup Shop builds a personal relationship with each and every customer, and they have an open door when it comes to communications. Heat race number 2 brought to you by McConey Setup Shop.
So we'll take the top 4 directly to the A&J Custom Creations A main after the 8 green flag circuits here in the McConey Setup Shop heat race number 2. Kevin Fry, you mentioned it, been lights out fast here lately. That 21 machine got the win earlier in the Rebels ahead of Rob Shaw, Zane Walters, Trent Verstraeten, and Tom Taylor, the top 5 in that. And, of course, it was Kevin Fry picking up the win this past week in the Epsilon Sprint Wraps Big Block Modifieds on Thursday. We'll see if he can continue his winning race. He and Lane Snook, number 2 in the points, bring us to the green, Scotty.
Look at the start from Lane Snook as it looked like Kevin Fry spun the tires, but contact right away. Lane Snook and Kevin Fry, your leaders off the top of the raceway off turn 2.
That gives the lead to the 78 of Jack Clevenger out front. He'll lead the opening lap of this McConey Setup Shop heat race number 2. Corey Kussler in 2nd, John Short in 3rd, and Rob Shaw right now has the final transfer position.
Here comes Aldrich, though, try and slide job, contact, 2 cars in the wall, 1 upside down. No cautions in these heat races. We are still green. That is going to be Clevenger, Shaw, Aldrich, and I believe Snook to the top 4 as Kussler is still in there as well.
Yeah, how about that little bit of good luck there for Lane Snook, the driver we talked about being so consistent. Had trouble on that first lap, and now he's back into a transfer spot, running in position number 4, and not a lot of pressure behind him. In fact, he's probably a third of a lap in front of John Short, who you see right there in the 51, who runs in position number 5. So things spreading out here in heat race number 2 after a couple of uncharacteristic incidents early on in this McConey Setup Shop heat race.
Anything can happen at Lernerville Speedway, as you see here in your McConey Setup Shot heat race number 2. Clevenger still with that race lead in car 78. Shaw in 2nd. Aldrich and Snook, your top 4, trying to punch their tickets to tonight's A main. Short running in that 5th position, trying to run down the 123 of Snook.
We go on board Jack Clevenger as he is on his final trip around the racetrack And there you see the cushion not all the way up to the top of the racetrack just yet, but it's getting there. Clevenger will make his way off of turn number 4, and he'll see the checkered flag and pick up the win of Heat 2. Rob Shaw in second. Here's a battle for third. Nathan Aldrich will get it. Lane Snook will finish in 4th, and 5th going to the 51 of John Short. So a wild Maconie setup shop heat race number 2. It'll get the checkered flag, and we get set to roll into heat race number 3. Another 8 laps will go up on the board here at the Lernerville Speedway for the A&J Custom Creations Renegades. And here's a look at that starting lineup for heat race number 3. It'll be Sean Bowers who picked up the opening season win this year at the Limaland Speedway. He lines up on the pole in the 0-3, and outside of him, we'll talk about this driver in a little bit. That is Jeff Fitzpatrick in car number 90 out of Minnesota.
Steven Fernberg in car 20, going to start inside of row number 2. To his outside, Jesse Bandy, car 57.
We go to the third row. That's Max Langevin in the 161, and Jeffrey Barker outside of him drives the 513.
In the 087, Austin Graby starts shotgun on the field in your 7th final starting spot.
That is a look at your starting grid. Heat race number 3 is brought to us by Howard Hanna Real Estate. Howard Hanna Real Estate Service, the number 1 family-owned and operated independent broker across the United States. And you can talk with their agent, Scott Hurwitt, at Howard Hanna Real Estate. He's a multi-million-dollar commercial and residential real estate agent for many years. And you know what else is cool about Scott Hurwitt? He puts a sprint car on his business card, as you see on the screen. You can email him at the email address you see on the screen. Also, he's an iRacer. He finished 2nd in the feature event earlier tonight in the C Division. So a good run earlier tonight for Scott Hurwitt from Howard Hanna Real Estate. Howard Hanna Real Estate and Scott Hurwitt bring us this 8-lap heat race number 3. Are you ready for this one, Scotty? Sean Bowers, Jesse Bandy, side by side, that front row. We saw Bandy on the podium for the first time last week of this young race season.
Yes, we did, as Patriot's going to drop them off. Green coming out. We are underway with heat race number 3, side by side. In the turns 1 and 2, early race lead going to Bowers. Bandy trying to go upstairs. Bowers shuts the door as it coming to turn number 3.
Bowers up top. Bandy will dip to the bottom. Side by side for the race lead off 4. Bowers leads the opening lap. Steven Fernberg in the 3rd position, and right now Jeffrey Barker has the final transfer spot, but here comes Fitzy. Jeff Fitzpatrick in the 90 machine. Dropped to the tail of the field, and right now he's looking for the final transfer spot. 2 laps in, 6 to go, and Fitzy has it.
On the outside, Fitzpatrick, he will have that 4th and final transfer spot in car number 90. Now trying to run down to 3rd place, running Fernberg. Bandy still in that 2nd place spot. Out in front, though, Sean Bowers.
Bowers looking very strong here early on in this one, and early on in the evening, that 0-3 machine looking like it did at Limaland. Well out front in this one, he has pulled about. That brings us to our Velocity Race Design B-Main here tonight. Look no further than Velocity Race Design for a fresh new look on your race car. Whether it's that hot new design for your real car or a retro throwback of your hero that you're looking for iRacing, Velocity Race Design has you covered. Race on over to Velocity Race Design on Facebook and order yourself a custom paint design today. Everybody's going to transfer out of this B main, but as we've learned in previous events, Scotty, it is important to get the best starting spot in that A main that you can, so every lap in this one's going to matter. 10 laps will be the distance. Ross Carenta, the 10 car, on the pole position. John Short joins him in row number 1.
Jeffrey Barker, the 513 to the inside of row 2. Andy Patton in car 87 to the outside.
Corey Kusler starts 5th on the field. That's the 126 machine. And Steven Fernberg, who we just saw in that last heat race in the 29, will start outside row number 3.
Terry Landis in the 661 to the inside of row 4. To his outside, it's going to be the 021 of Kevin Fry.
Row number 9, Matt Ramsey on the inside. Austin Graby. Or flip them around. Austin Graby inside, Ramsey outside. That's the 87 for Graby and the 45 for Ramsey.
Dan McLaren 73 car starting shotgun on the field. That's your starting lineup for the Velocity Race Design B feature. Once again, fighting for starting spots in tonight's A main. All cars will transfer.
Got some heavy hitters in this Velocity Race Design B main. Going to be interesting to see how far through the field they can get. And that's one position they don't have to pass in that upcoming A main. Set for the green flag. It waves. We're underway with the B main here, brought to us by Velocity Race Design. It's Ross Carenta out to the lead in the 10, but here comes the 51 of John Short.
Tiptoeing on the top side, right at that knife edge along the cushion. Car off the racetrack, and it seems to be Fry in the 21 car off turn 3 and 4. He will go to the back as Short's going to lead lap number 1. Croinetta, Patton, and Fernberg, your current top 4.
Here comes Fernberg working on that top side. He can't be shy about it. He's got to go back to the fast line here. He'll go to the inside now, working on the 87 of Andy Patton. They get side by side for a moment. Fernberg works to the inside. Patton slides down the racetrack. They nearly banged in turn number 3.
Careful when you're coming into the top side like we've talked about all night tonight, Sean. You miss that mark, you will go tumbling off the racetrack, and you will not be able to make up those positions very easily as well. Short still with the race lead. Croinetta is sitting in that second spot as we are looking back to, I believe, the Fernberg to the inside now. Cannot get the run he needs off turn number 2.
So it's still Andy Patton running in third, Fernberg in the 4th spot. Oh, we've got trouble off of turn 4. A couple cars banging right there. And they're going to continue on green in this one. Again, no caution flags. This will help Kevin Fry gain a position as Terry Landis going to fall to the tail of the field. John Short remains your race leader, but he's got company. Ross Carenta all over him as they rip down the back straightaway with 3.5 to go.
Top line is definitely the fast line here, but you can be fast or broken in just a matter of seconds. Croinetta trying to get to the tail tank and look to the inside of the 51 of Short. Croinetta trying to still pull the tail tank as we look at the 29 car, still battling with Fernberg and Patton as they come to turns 3 and 4.
That is the battle for third right there. Fernberg has it. Andy Patton now in the 4th spot. Behind them, it's Austin Graby in 5th. Jeffrey Barker runs in 6th. Corey Kusler is in 7th, and Matt Ramsey in the 8th spot. Kevin Fry back up to position number 9, but the white flag is out for John Short in the 51. Ross Carenta all over him down the backstretch for the final time.
Carenta to the inside now, slide job, turn 3 and 4. He is going to take the B feature win. Short getting shuffled back to 2nd, and here comes Fernberg, I believe, coming around the outside to get by Patton. Patton taking home the 4th position. Austin Graby rounding out your top 5.
Boy, wild Velocity Race Design B main here tonight. Look at the final results on that one. Carenta will get the win over Short with that final turn pass. Fernberg got up to 3rd. Patton in 4th. Graby 5th. Jeffrey Barker in 6th. Corey Kusler, Matt Ramsey, Kevin Fry, Terry Landis, and Dan McLaren. Your 11-car field in the Velocity Race Design B main. That's going to bring us to our Icon Sim Sports pre-main break here tonight at the Lernerville Speedway, and drivers are going to make their way out onto the racetrack for a little bit of practice before we get into our main event. I want to remind you that Icon Sim Sports aims to bring the sim racing community a one-of-a-kind fixed chassis experience like none other. They also exemplify extraordinary customer service. You can have a sim racing chassis that's built specifically for you, and it also replicates the look, feel, and design of a real race car, and you get that with Icon Sim Sports. Stay tuned. You'll learn more about them. After this break, we'll introduce you to the NSM Photos Driver of the Week, and we will have your A&J Custom Creations A-Main for the A&J Custom Creations Renegades live here on GForce TV. Stay with us.
At McConey Setup Shop, we offer custom-built setups for any asphalt oval car. Prices starting at just $5. Weekly setups available for all Legends, models, modifieds, and NASCAR trucks, Xfinity, and Cup cars. Do you need one-on-one driver coaching? We've got you covered. Visit www.McConeySetup.com. Find yourself free lane. McConey Setup Shop, handling all your setup needs so you don't have to.
We welcome you back to the Icon Sim Sports pre-main break here from the Lernerville Speedway with the A&J Custom Creations Renegades live on GForceTV. Sean Niestead here with you, as well as Scotty DeYoung. Glad to be bringing everyone the action here tonight. And Scotty, it's brought to us time to get into the point of the night where we get into our NSM Photos Driver of the Week.
Driver of the Week. That's going to be 90 of Jeff Fitzpatrick, and he has definitely shown why he is the Driver of the Week. Great guy behind the wheel there.
Jeff Fitzpatrick picking up the honors. He started 23rd in last week's Elite Feature Division and raced his way up to the 8th spot. Jeremy Paulson was honorable mention in that. He gained 15 positions in the Renegades A main last week. He was our hard charger. But there you see Jeff Fitzpatrick, the 90 machine, the yellow and pink car making its way around Lernerville. And for those of you in the league who know him, or if you run into him somewhere, ask him about his nicknames. He's got a few. Fitzperfect is one of them. Shaky's another. We RC car raced for a long time, and I'm a very shaky radio-controlled race car driver, but nothing compared to Fitzy. So if you ever meet him, ask him about that. Pretty cool stuff. Hey, he's celebrating his NSM Photos Driver of the Week. A little donut down there on the infield before heading to the pit stall to get that car ready for the A&J Custom Creations A main. It's been a good night so far, Scotty, and of course the drivers going to have a good night, or the best night, are going to be the ones who finish in the Epsilon Sprint Wraps victory lane here tonight. We'll have the podium finishers all live on the show here this evening and hear about their night. If you're looking to stand out from the competition, Epsilon Sprint Wraps creates tailor-made graphics to fit your personal taste with a focus on realistic designs. You look like you drove off of your local dirt track and into iRacing. Champions choose Epsilon Sprint Wraps. Also, of course, we've got a Hard Charger Award up for grabs tonight as well, Scotty.
That'd be 2W's Plumber Hard Charger, located in Naples, New York. 2W's Plumbing is a full-service company specializing in all aspects of plumbing, general contracting, and water treatment for commercial, residence, and multifamily housing. Contact Chris Whipple today at 585-749-9478 or online at www.2wsplumbing.com. And that's going to be the Hard Charger being brought to you by 2W's Plumbing tonight.
Checker flag coming out on practice. Supreme Sim Racing brings us the feature lineup. Supreme Sim Racing is an international sim racing team made up of talented sim racers from around the world. Are you Supreme? Looking to join an easygoing and fun sim racing group? Nobody does it like Team Supreme. Your Team Supreme starting grid for tonight's 30-lapper here at the Lernerville Speedway. Coming up on your screen, here is the starting lineup. Starting on the pole, it's Stephen Goldner piloting car number 30, and next to him, the 78 of Jack Clevenger.
Batter number 2 is going to be the 03 of Sean Bowers, and to his outside, your current point leader, and looking for win number 3 in a row tonight, the 24 of Kyle Moonen.
To the third row, that's where the 519 of Rob Shaw will line up, and next to him in the 57, it's Jesse Bandy.
The inside of row number 4 going to be the 20 car of Blake Chapman. To the outside, Nathan Aldrich in car 151.
Your NSM Photos Driver of the Week lines up inside the 5th row. That is the number 90 of Jeff Fitzpatrick. And next to him, driving the 69, it's Aiden Young, starting 10th.
Inside of row number 6, driving the 123 car, it's the young kid, Lane Snook. And to the outside, Max Langevin in car 161.
We'll move to row number 7. It's Ross Carenta in the 10 car on the inside. Outside, John Short in car number 51.
Steven Fernberg in car 29 to the inside of row at number 8. To the outside, Andy Patton in car 87.
Moving to the 9th row on the inside, that's the 87 of Austin Graby. Jeffrey Barker starts 18th on the grid.
In car 126, it's going to be Corey Kussler to the inside of row at number 10. To the outside, the 45 of Matt Ramsey.
Row number 11, Kevin Fry in the 21. We'll keep an eye on him through this event. And Terry Landis starts 22nd on the grid.
That is going to round out your starting lineup here for your A&J Custom Creations, a feature here for the Renegade GeForce Racing Leagues.
We'll have your top 5 in the intervals on the top of the screen. We'll have your top 20 on the left side of the screen for the duration of this one. Supreme Sim Racing bringing you that starting lineup. A&J Custom Creations bringing you this A-Main 30 times around the Lernerville Speedway for the Renegades here on GForceTV and the GForce Racing Leagues. We are set to go off of turn number 4. Green flag flies and we're underway.
Flag is in the air. Monday Night Madness here for the Renegades. A feature brought to you by A&J Custom Creations. Out to that race lead, it's Stephen Goldner in car 30. Here comes Clevenger around the top side as Bowers in the 03 working to the inside as they complete lap number 1.
Lap number 1 going into the books. Clevenger in the third spot. Jesse Bandy already up to position number 4, and then they were 3 wide for a top 5. Look at him go right there. Rob Shaw through the middle and then comes across the nose of Blake Chapman. The 5:19 of Rob Shaw on a mission.
Shaw on a mission. Kyle Moonen in there as well as Chapman in the Skittles 20 car. And Fitzpatrick, your driver of the week as well. Up front, though, Goldner coming under attack from the 03 of Bowers to the inside. Cannot get the run he needs off turn number 4.
So now it's Jack Clevenger right there in the mix, and he nearly put the right rear off of the top of turn number 2. Stephen Goldner, your race leader. Sean Bowers in second. Clevenger in third. And there's that wild hornet's nest from 4th on back.
Yes, as they're fighting for position from 4th on back, like you mentioned, Sean Chapman to the bottom, and it looks like, I believe, Shaw up top. And here comes the 10 car. Where did 10 car of Cornetta come from? Fitzpatrick still in there as Kyle Moonen involved. Everyone's still fighting for a position from 4th on back as we got a battle for the race lead, Sean.
Oh, Ross Carrenta's gained 9 spots now as he challenges Rob Shaw for the 4th position. But look at this battle up front. Stephen Goldner has it. Jack Clevenger, Sean Bowers still side by side for position number 2. 3-car race for the lead with 6 in and 24 to go. It's Stephen Goldner out front as the caution flag flies for the first time here at the Lernerville Speedway. We are under the yellow. And let's see if we can get a Malcolm Mills replay to come up here on the screen of exactly what happened.
Malcolm Mills is going to bring you the replays all night tonight as we work off turn number 4. And, contact with Fitzpatrick and Chapman, it looks like. Lane Snook sneaking by on the bottom side there.
Very close. Oh, look out there. The 161 comes piling in there. That's Max Langevin. That was a close one there for the 513 of Jeffrey Barker, who just snuck through there. But, yeah, a couple of cars banging together in this Malcolm Mills replay.
Yeah, based in Oakland, Ontario, Canada, Malcolm Mills Millwrighting is a full-service millwrighting contractor featuring custom welding and fabrication plus service for industrial clients. Look them up online at mmmillwrighting.com. So once again, replays being brought to you tonight by Malcolm Mills.
See the field out there behind the iRacing pace truck. We'll go green off of turn number 4 next time around. I've got to tell you about this. Ross Carrenta is come out charging here tonight and very well could be your 2Ws Plumbing Hard Charger Award recipient here. And we've still got more than 2/3 of this event to go. Carrenta, that number 10 machine, he has come plus 9 spots. Yes, 9 spots up to 4th. He started 13th, so keep an eye on that number 10 as we come back to the green with Stephen Goldner out front setting the pace.
Carrenta was definitely on a rail in his heat race, trying to get back on the rails as he's going to restart 4th. Look at the start, though, from Stephen Goldner. Out to the race lead. Bowers back down to the bottom along with Carrenta. Clevenger trying to tiptoe his way around the top side. Loses that 2nd place spot as Bowers is going to take it over. Carrenta, almost hitting the cone on the inside of the track as they complete another lap.
Carrenta's going to be a driver to watch. He's down there mowing some grass. Nearly got the 3rd spot. He's got it now from Clevenger. They're side by side. Look at that. Stephen Goldner has a very slim margin over Bowers. 21 to go here at Lernerville, and business is picking up.
Putting the right rear on the cushion between that fast and broken lineup there as Cornetta working the bottom to the middle side of the racetrack. And look behind them. Here comes Kyle Moonen in car 24.
Moonen and Bandy side by side. That's a race for the 5th spot. As you see, their names flipping back and forth in that 5th position on top of the screen. Advantage Moonen for the time being. Set to go back out front. It's still Stephen Goldner, but they are all over him as they race down into turn number 1. And this racetrack, that front straightaway is going to get rougher as Ross Carrenta took a peek for the lead. He's gained 10 spots. He's solidly in 3rd.
Now looking for second through turns 3 and 4 as Bowers trying to take a look to the inside. Could not get the run. Here comes Cornetta to the bottom side of the racetrack, mowing the grass, as you said, Sean. Goldner still with the race lead as they come into turn 3.
Cornetta looking so strong on the bottom. If that top groove goes away at all, he is going to be there as Goldner and Bowers continue to rim ride here at Lernerville. Good look there in turn number 1, just how close they are to the very edge of the speedway. On the opposite end of the spectrum, there's Ross Cornetta. He is down on the bottom and making it work off of turn 4.
Second for just a split moment, but Bowers battles back on the top side. Steven Goldner still working the cush. Here comes second, though. Cornetta up to that second place spot, now looking for the lead off turns 3 and 4.
They were 3 wide off of the turn with crossed flags. We're halfway home in the A&J Custom Creations A main. And there's a 3-car battle for the lead, or is it Ross Cornetta from 13th, your new leader, getting into turn number 3? Can Goldner rip around the high side and gain it back? He does as they get to turn 1.
Up front here, Cornetta with that run on the bottom side, now through the middle of the racetrack, side by side into turn 3. Goldner still up top, trying to get it done, carrying the momentum. Cannot get it done. New race leader off turn number 4.
Back down to turn number 1. You see just how low in the grass Ross Cornetta is down there through 1 and 2. But this time it's Steven Goldner with the better run through that corner. The 30 machine back to the race lead. Cornetta on the bottom. He's in second. And here comes Sean Bowers back after him for position number 2.
Here comes Bowers back on the top side. Look who's cracked into the top 4 now. Kyle Moonen. And here comes Short in that 5th position as well. Great battle going on here as a caution flag comes out with 11 laps to go. Wow, what a race up front, Sean.
Oh my, this has been the race of the year so far for the Renegades, hands down. And we've had some great races before, but this one has been lights out. Let's take a look at a Malcolm Mills replay. What brought the caution? See Kevin Fry in the 21 coming off the corner, and yeah, a little trouble here. Looks like a little contact there. The Nathan Aldrich in the 151. Aldrich goes around, Fry going around, and yeah, there's big contact down there on the front straightaway wall. Trouble here on the front chute, and that is what puts us under the caution and in for this Malcolm Mills replay. Let's see if we can get a little different look here.
It looked like Aldridge was just a little bit too loose coming off the corner, and Fry just with nowhere to go, getting into that rear push bar, as well as the driver behind Fry getting into him and turning him around as well.
So big trouble there on the front straightaway. That's another look at your Malcolm Mills replay here tonight as we get set for the green off of turn number 4. Oh my goodness, Scotty, how about this one? The 30 of Steven Goldner, your race leader. Ross Cornetta, he had the lead there for a moment. You got the 0-3 of Bowers right there in the mix. And then here comes Kyle Moonen and John Short. Short has gained 8 spots and is up to 5th. Here's your restart. They'll have 11 laps to go as we go by the flag stand.
And diving right back down to the bottom of the racetrack is Cornetta, as is going to be Goldner up top, still with the race lead. Look at them, 3 wide back behind them, Sean, all fighting for position. Multiple lines being used here. Here comes Short, here comes Moonen, and here comes Bowers as well, as Short drives into the top 4.
John Short might be one to watch here. He's got the top side of that speedway working from 14th to 4th. Looking for more, but they're 2 wide side by side for second in front of him. Cornetta on the bottom. Bowers on the top. Where will Short go down into turn number 1? Bowers goes through the middle. Short on the top. We've got 9 laps to go. Just under a third of this feature remains.
Oh, and Short bobbles off turn number 2 that time by almost off the racetrack, and Moonen trying to capitalize, could not do so. Bowers right in front of Short now, shuts the door as they go into turn number 1, as here comes Short ripping the lip on the top side. 8 laps remaining.
Down the back straightaway they go. Short all over the 0-3 of Bowers. Short on the outside, looking for the second spot. He has got it, and he'll set his sights now on Steven Goldner, your race leader. So Goldner, your leader, Jonathan Short from 14th is up to 2nd. We'll see if he's got enough time with 7, making about 6 laps to go, and chasing down your race leader.
Lap traffic in front of Goldner as Short up to that 2nd spot now. Cornetta falling back to the 5th position. car going away from him in the driver of the 10 car as we, I believe, are on board with Short. Look at him holding the tail tank of Goldner as they go by the flag stand and thunder into turn number 1.
Short's going to look to the inside. Goldner on the top. Goldner has got the drive on the back straightaway. We'll see if Short can make the bottom line work. Slide job for the lead. He's got it, but Goldner back to the inside and back to the race lead as they go to turn 1.
Crossover move. Short's got to be careful here, going to the top side, almost off the track in turn number 2. Kevin Fry, lap car in front of them as Sean Bowers still working that inside now up to the top sideline to try to hold on to position number 3. Short got it at the right rear end of the wall that time, coming into turn number 1. Still hanging on to the second place spot.
Here's a look back from Steven Goldner's tail tank at the 51 of John Short. And you see Sean Bowers right there stalking as they come by. 2 laps to go in this A-main. Short going to the bottom of the racetrack looking for the lead. Slide jump, but can't get it. Goldner holds onto it down the back straightaway.
Trying to dig through 1 and 2. Cannot get there is Jonathan Short. Steven Goldner trying to hold him off and take home the win. White flag is out one more time around the Lernerville Speedway.
Goldner has got it. If Short has anything for it, he's got to throw it all at him when they get to turn number 3. Goldner off of turn number 4, and he'll get his first win of the year with the Renegades. Short's going to finish second, Bowers third, Kyle Moonen fourth, and Jack Clevenger, your top 5 in tonight's A&J Custom Creations A-Main here at the Lernerville Speedway for the GeForce Racing League Renegades. Scotty, do you have any breath left? What a feature event here tonight for the Renegades.
Oh my goodness. I mean, Lernerville is always an exciting track to see some great racing action, and these guys definitely showed it here tonight in the Renegades League. And wow, props to Goldner. Short was coming, but he definitely was able to hold him up. Congratulations to Steven Goldner taking home the win tonight.
What a feature event. He had to hold off the charge from Short. He had Ross Carenta all over him, as well as you see the top 20 on the left side of your screen here tonight. We can tell you Blake Chapman was 21st, Aiden Young 22nd. So there are your unofficial results on the screen, and we will have an opportunity to hear from our top 3 finishers here tonight in the Epsilon Sprint Wraps Victory Lane presentation. We can also tell you tonight's Hard Charger is going to be your runner-up, and that's John Short. Started 14th on the grid and finished position number 2. First, let's hear from the runner-up here this evening. Sean Bowers going to finish in the third spot. Sean, that 03 machine, you were running up front there all night. It seemed like it was just wild right in front of you, the duration of that A feature.
Yes, sir. I was kind of hoping those leaders would battle for a little bit longer, and they would give me a shot there at the end.
Talk about this racetrack. It seemed like it was such a fine line on the top of the racetrack there in the late going of this one.
Oh, yeah, that top line, it was very, very, very thin for sure, and I just kind of lost confidence up there, so I just kind of moved down and just kind of tried to search around looking for some traction.
Let's talk about those closing laps, or about the midway point. Let's go there first. At some points there, you guys were 3 wide for the race lead. What was that like?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm not scared to throw it in there 3 wide with those guys. Those guys race hard. They race clean. Those guys are good guys, man.
So you've got somebody to your inside going for the lead. You got the leader on your outside. Were you stuck in the middle at that point, or were you comfortable with that groove?
I was comfortable. Anytime I was not up high, I was comfortable. Just tonight, I just don't know what it was. I just was not comfortable up top.
This can be a very tricky track. You come home third here tonight. Who do you need to thank for this strong podium run to put you here in the Epsilon Sprint Wraps Victory Lane?
I got to thank the guys over there at the Firm Motorsports, Apex, Ryko, they just came on board. They're a huge sponsor. Awesome setups. Butt Kicker, Mazin's Transport, 21 Designs, Fine Line Designs, Justin Sick Photography, and Siebers Race Media. Very
good. Sean Bowers on the podium again here tonight. The 03 machine finishes third. Congratulations.
Thanks, sir.
Let's go over to Scotty DeYoung, who's caught up with John Short, who not only finishes second here tonight, but will also be tonight's 2Ws Plumbing Hard Charger Award recipient.
Still waiting for him to climb out of the car here in the runner-up position. There he is, Jonathan Short, coming in the runner-up position, as well as your 2Ws Plumbing Hard Charger. Man, what a race you had up front with the 30 car of Steven Goldner. What was that like, though, just navigating this really tricky track to get up to that runner-up spot tonight?
Yeah, it was a hell of a race with Steven. I wish we could have traded some more as lap car there. We were kind of jostling around with. I was kind of waiting for him to get out of the way, or at least let us both clear him so I could throw a slider. But yeah, it was a great race. I know racing with Steven is always trying to leave each other some room, but it's always fun to race with him. He's one of the best here. So, but yeah, I love this track and love to rip the lip. And I was happy to start on the outside of the race and just kind of 3 and 4, especially be able to run the top when everybody else was trying to find the good dirt down low.
Talking about this throughout the night as well. The top side of this racetrack really tricky to navigate without that wall being there to lean against if you miss your mark. How crucial is it when you're running that top to make sure you're more finesse on that gas pedal and make sure you hit your mark coming in the corners?
Oh, for sure. That's one of the toughest parts about this place is, you know, if you put 1 foot wrong at any point, you have a good chance of sliding it off. So yeah, it gets real thin up there. A lot of guys try not to run it. I worked a lot of time at having a good, comfortable setup for up there just to be able to put it on what was left of the cushion and be able to burn it off coming off the corner. But it's tricky for sure. And the bottoms, you know, is really tricky as well. You kind of almost 1 and 2, you almost got to hook a left front tire into the grass a little bit just to help you be able to hit the corner in 1 and 2 for sure. So it's tricky on both ends.
But you definitely making it look easy tonight, and like we said, the 2Ws Plumbing Hard Charger recipient tonight as well. Who would you like to thank for putting that 51 car in the runner-up spot tonight?
Well, I'd like to thank you guys for broadcasting. You guys do a hell of a job and make us all look good out here. Definitely got to thank the Kreitz Racing Coast to Coast Sim Team. Epsilon Sprint Wraps for giving me an awesome paint this season. Love the gold and maroon colors. It's one of my favorites. So if you need a paint, get out there and get a hold of Preston. And then A&J Custom Creations does our trophies, and Kreitz Oval Track Parts is one of our sponsors as well with the Kreitz affiliation. And then obviously got to thank my wife and all the guys at GForce for putting on the leagues.
Once again, the 51 of Jonathan Short coming in your runner-up position, as well as your Hard Charger recipient tonight, brought to you by 2Ws Plumbing. Thank you for your time. Congratulations on the great run, and good luck next week.
Okay.
We're going to throw it over to Sean Neisted now, standing by with tonight's Victory Lane recipient in Epsilon Sprint Wraps Victory Lane. Sean Neisted with Steven Goldner. Sean?
Steven Goldner, 26th career win with the GForce Racing Leagues, and tonight it was dramatic. They threw everything and maybe the kitchen sink at you out there, Steven, and yet you held on. What a drive.
Yeah, thanks. We had a good car. I mean, might not have been as good as Shorts was there, but we had the preferred line, and I think he threw a slider a little bit too early, but it was definitely a good race for from my seat and for the fans there at home.
It was great from our seat, too. Talk about the late go there. Well, let's back up. Let's talk about, first you had Ross Carenta all over you, and he was stuck to the bottom groove and really made that work early on. Did it ever entice you to think about giving up that top side line and go down to the bottom where the 10 car was?
Not really. I mean, I did watch Ross there drive right by me like I wasn't even moving, and I thought, holy, I'm not going to be able to keep up with him. I kind of put in another gear there and just tried to run some a little bit harder, more consistent laps, and I ended up getting back by him there on a good kind of move I found there right through the middle of the race track. But it was a good race for him, and just happy we ended up winning it.
You talk about consistent laps, but how hard is it to be consistent? We're watching on the replay here, you guys coming down the front straightaway. This front stretch gets really, really rough. You guys were really bouncing.
Yeah, it's rough. I mean, I might have hit the wall once or twice there on the front stretch, just trying to keep it straight. I had a little bit of wheel spin, might have been able to do a little bit something different with the setup, but Jesse put a good setup for me together, and we were able to have a good race.
All right, let's talk about those closing laps. That top side of the speedway, the cushion was getting thin. How how nervous were you, or what were you when you were sailing it in? I mean, we're talking you were inches away from going off the banking, yet you hit it perfectly lap after lap.
Yeah, 1 and 2, I didn't really feel like I was actually running very well. I think I mean, really needed to be a little bit higher, but I just didn't really feel comfortable. I didn't want to be that guy that puts it over the cushion when you're leading, you know. So I just trying to have some consistency, and I slid up a little bit to the cushion instead of run right around it. And I know that's where I think that's where John was making up his time on me, but I felt really good in 3 and 4. So if I could get 3 and 4 done good, he'd have a tough chance on passing me.
And as we said before, your career win number 26. Who do you got to thank for putting you in victory lane here tonight?
I got to thank all the Bandy built guys, Jesse, Brandon, Fitzy, Kyle, Lane, JP, and Brennan. I mean, they putting some good sets together for us, and definitely can't thank them enough. I like to thank Powerhouse Motorsports, Bagman Bros, Bio.com, Velocity Race Designs, Dirt Doctor Trucking, and Bandy Built Race Cars.
All right, congratulations, Stephen Goldner. You started up front, you ran up front the whole race, but you didn't lead every lap. They made you work behind the wheel. Congratulations on the win.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys. Hopefully we'll talk to you again next week.
Looking forward to it. Stephen Goldner, your winner here tonight from the Lernerville Speedway for the A&J Custom Creations Renegades with the GeForce Racing League. Scotty, what an event we had here tonight. 30 exciting laps in that feature around Lernerville. Looks like we may have lost Scotty here in the final moments. I guess if we're going to lose somebody, let it be. There you are. Hello.
I'm here.
Closing thoughts here tonight. What a feature event. Maybe you were just catching your breath still.
If you take the mute button off. But no, definitely a great race here tonight. Lernerville always puts on some great racing action and does not disappoint. So congratulations to Stephen Goldner taking home the win tonight. Jonathan Short for the runner-up spot, as well as the 2W's Plumbing Hard Charger Award. And yeah, these guys were just lights out fast tonight. Really, really great show. We hope you fans out there enjoyed it as well as Sean and I did.
Oh, absolutely loved it. Looking forward to seeing the Epsilon Sprint Reps Big Block Modified. Same time, same place, same racetrack this Thursday night. We will have that one. And then next week, these Renegades, they're heading off to a very, very tough racetrack. Mark your calendars for next Monday night. We head to Williams Grove. Really looking forward to the action at that half-mile paperclip coming up next Monday night for these Renegades. Scotty, last words on the night before we look to and turn in for big blocks on Thursday.
Yeah, just like I said, another exciting race. Can't thank all the sponsors and everyone else for tuning in tonight. It's been a joy bringing you some great racing action. We hope to see you Thursday.
We'll talk to you again then, Scotty. And for everyone tuned in, make sure to give us a like on the GeForce Racing Facebook, and make sure to follow everything on GForceTV and GeForce Esports on YouTube. For everyone with the GeForce Racing Leagues, including Scotty DeYoung, I'm Sean Niestead saying good night from the virtual Lernerville Speedway. Goodbye, everybody.